Today, our topic that we have picked is something that we've seen all travel companies while they are planning end of the year, beginning of next year, they ask themselves this: do travel exhibitions still deliver the expected ROI? Are they asking are they doing what they are meant to do for us? We are not going to get into the details of whether exhibitions should exist or they shouldn't exist. We know the exhibitions are valuable, but we need to figure out how to make them more valuable for exhibitors, buyers, and organizers. That is the whole idea. Like, how do they add more value to you on a daily basis? I know you spend a considerable amount of time, a lot of resources in planning an exhibition, growing an exhibition, and some exhibitions are doing extremely well, and there are new exhibitions coming every few months. Actually, we hear of a new exhibition that comes up. So there is obviously the industry is asking for it, and they are in the market for a reason. But yet the opinion about exhibitions is very divided, and we've spoken to quite a few people before we chose this topic. So we want to deep dive into that. In my panel today, we have two event organizers who have been exhibitors, buyers, and now have decided to become exhibition organizers. But they don't only organize an exhibition, they've both created an ecosystem. It's not a one event that they do. They have an ecosystem, they have a branding, they have a value that they bring to the table. Joining them today for me are two of India's leading outbound travel companies, representing the very buyers that exhibitors want to bring into the door and attract to their exhibition. So that's why I've got you both in. Together, we want to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and more importantly, what the future of the Indian travel exhibitions should look like. Can I one by one now request you to please introduce yourselves, just your name and your company name, and also the last, your favorite international travel exhibition, and in one line, what makes it stand out. Manish, can we start with you?
Okay, hi, I'm Manish Kriplani from Baywatch Travels Chennai. So I just came back from ILTM Asia. I love it because naturally we are in the luxury space, and I think all the products were handpicked and absolute luxury. So it made a lot of sense for me to go there, and I had a great time there. Yeah, thank you.
Harman sir.
Good afternoon all. Harmandeep Singh Anand, Managing Director of Global Panorama Showcase. So one event that I started attending was WTM way back when I was a student in London. So that is something that I've been following up year on year. So I do follow the WTM London format, though it's a much larger format, but that is something that I keep on attending on a regular basis.
Amazing. Anshu, can we get you in?
Hi everyone, I'm Anshu from Holiday Tribe from Gurgaon. From perspective at which show, so I attended multiple, but I particularly like ITB and ATM both because of the tech presence. We are tech first company, the kind of products we get to see in these international global platforms around technology are phenomenal. So that's one of the reasons.
Perfect. Pradeep sir, can we quickly have you say?
I'm Pradeep Sahu, Managing Director at Guideline Travels and a co-founder of MTF Events, organizing the Milange range of shows that we do. So two specific shows that I've attended stick in my mind always. One is ILTM Cannes, simply because of the focused approach that they have for the buyers and the exhibitors. And it's a very straight line method that you are there for business in the day and party in the night. Same though applied also with GPS, because I have also exhibited at GPS. So it is business and pleasure together. And in some ways, we at Milange also do that. Maybe the format is slightly different, but yes. So GPS was also very unique, and that is something they started long ago. It is also very different. Yeah. Obviously, I've visited all the others, WTM and Indian fairs and ITBs and all, or even ATMs. They are having their own issues in terms of how they operate.
Okay, so I'm going to ask my first question to you. I'm going to put you in the hot seat first. You introduced Milange in a tier one city when everybody thought the market was already saturated. You created space for this show. So what works for Milange that you think you bring different to the table? And according to you, what is the business that can only happen at an exhibition and not anywhere else?
So, let me give you a brief background on where I come from. We at Guideline Travels were one of the oldest exhibitors at both the top shows in the country. So we can very easily claim we have participated in more than 50 shows put together at both the top shows in the country for almost now over 3 decades. Now, as an exhibitor, whenever I used to be present at my booths, there were certain problems I used to face as an exhibitor. And those problems were getting bigger by the day, because more than the buyers, we used to be swarmed by the number of sellers, the number of freelancers, the number of tour managers, airline companies, hotel companies. They used to pay visit to me on my stall when I am standing there to sell something. It is so funny. At one of those shows, I wouldn't want to name them, there was a company that came to me, please buy our fire protection. We are a firefighting company or a pest control, and we can do pest control in your office. So these were the kind of people they used to confront us on our booths. So that triggered me at some stage that there has to be some drastic disruption in this space, the way these shows are being organized or handled. And we are so glad over those 2 shows only, we've completely kind of triggered the whole chain that is required. And in this 2026 shows, the other shows, I could see fraction change in how they were also kind of filtering and operating. Not that they've done as much as it should have been done, but yeah, we are so happy and in fact proud and happy that we could make that small change, because this is not our first line of business. First lines are our own companies we've been running for 3 decades and more. So the trigger was when I used to be the exhibitor, the crap I used to get in terms of people, thousands, these many thousand, that many thousand, was the main trigger that no, we don't want, I want to do this any longer and I want to make a change.
Perfect. But you also agree that business can happen at an exhibition. You have now experiencing that people.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I tell you, in our first show and second show, we have almost 75% of people repeating themselves. That is a big enough reason that we have to understand that there is ROI on the show that we do. Business can happen in multiple ways. Obviously, there are transactions that happen, there are bookings that happen, etc. But rightfully, in a travel trade show, it is more of a networking and more of a branding. So today, post-COVID, heaps a dozen kind of DMCs and companies have started all across the world. The number of new companies that have sprung up over the last 5 years is been historical. There have never been so many new companies one had a choice to deal with. So all these companies needed recognition, they needed space, they needed to meet people. So that is what also happens at a trade show, where not necessarily that you're converting the business there and then, but yes, you are exchanging a visiting card if your follow-up is good. And then when the query comes in, if you're managing those queries and the CRMs are good, then obviously that gets converted to businesses. Perfect. Even at the big shows ever in 25 years, I don't think so. I did a booking of 100 rupees at any of the show. Nothing happens at the show. Unless it's good to see.
Yeah, I'm going to hold that thought. I'm going to come back to you on that topic as well. But at this point, I want to bring Anshu in for a moment. Anshu, you attend exhibitions, you pick as a buyer, you pick and choose the exhibitions you attend. But what convinces you that a particular exhibition deserves 2 or 3 days in your calendar? How do you decide to give that exhibition that much time?
I think for me, the single criteria will be the quality of people, those who are attending. And when I say quality of people, it means the quality of supply, those who are coming in. And what's the need of my business that time? So that can be what I'm doing today and what I'm planning tomorrow, right? So if I'm doing 10 destinations today, but I want to open 3 more, and I'm looking for quality suppliers, probably that's one thing which will eventually decide my 2 or 3 days calendar. Eventually, till date, other than OTM, probably I've never spent 3 days in any of the show. I usually just go for a day, do quick meetings and come back.
Okay, so I want to ask you another question here. Um, who needs to be held accountable for your ROI at a show? Would you say it's the organizers' role over here to make sure that there are enough products that would interest somebody like you?
So definitely, look, in any of the business, organizers definitely are owners of that product what we are getting there. But they are not the solely responsible for if we are not getting the desired ROI. It's a responsibility of all three parties there. One is obviously the supplier, and if I am talking in a capacity of a buyer, the buyers also need to be responsible in terms of the quality of buyer which is coming there. So one of the biggest frustrating point for me will be interruption between the meetings, the quality of meetings. If I am in a meeting, there will be someone just jumping in. So there is no control, there is no filtration of the people those who are attending. While we understand that each and every new person also need to attend because they need these exhibitions, but at the same time there has to be some rule, some process which needs to be followed, which eventually decide the quality of that meeting, quality of the outcome. Another thing is that there is no benchmark, there is no third party benchmarking which is available to calculate my ROI on attending that show, right? So that should be there, that whoever is attending, whoever is exhibiting, they and obviously the organization, they all need to have the correct ROI.
Yeah, I want to bring Manish in here because Manish also doesn't attend every exhibition in India. Manish, why do you decline an invite? Why do you choose to attend certain or not attend certain exhibitions?
First thing, though, I'm I'm really shocked to know that it has been realized that I've not attended any Indian exhibition. That's great. But no, it's just that there's so much happening. There's so much travel anyway happening. You're always going back and forth, back and forth. It's just that sometimes when you get an Indian invite, you just want to keep it aside and say, okay, I'll do it next time.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. It's not that I have anything against exhibitions that happen in India. It's
No,
just
no,
that
not like that, but like
it's
what do they need to do to get you to come for the exhibition? Like, are they bringing enough value? Is the show bringing enough value for you to put it on your calendar or not? That's more what I want to understand.
the thing is, I had attended Sateh some time back. I think I came there only once, and but somehow I didn't. I don't know. I just didn't feel the kind of business or the seriousness that was happening because see, we as buyers come from different countries. We spend so much time, 3 nights, 4 nights. We're looking for some seriousness from both sides, and even sometimes from the sellers also. But somehow I didn't see nothing. I have nothing against anybody here,
No, no, of
but
course
I
not.
didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see any seriousness in the sellers or in the entire those 2 3 days. So that's why I thought maybe it's not something that I'd want to go again. So I haven't unfortunately come there again. But when I travel overseas, like just now when I came from ILTM, I mean everything is so perfectly organized. Every meeting you have to do your 70 80. It's not like you're sitting and somebody coming there. Hey, listen, can I also join you? Or listen, I'm getting late. Can I also share the meeting with you? Nothing like that happens. I mean, we are there for pure business. I want my 15 minutes. I want to discuss. I want to learn more about your property and leave. So I just see more value when I'm there. Maybe because they also travel from different countries and they also spending so much more money. They also looking for an ROI. So maybe that little magic is working there. But otherwise, there's nothing against Indian thing. It's just the time sometimes. That's all. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Harman sir, I want to bring you in now. GPS has aggressively tapped the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 markets in the last 10, 12, 15 years. You've literally brought tier 3, tier 4 up in front of everybody and said, these are the people who are getting you volume of business. These are the people who are actually traveling. Please reach out to them. You brought them right in front. So, in your views, what makes an exhibitor return to the show, to GPS year after year, city after city, and what ROI do you believe that you are providing to them?
you don't get an ROI overnight. It has to be over a period of time. You have to start going into these markets. As someone just mentioned that saturation does happen, but Pradeep broke that. Practically, he went out and he said, no, though there is saturation in Western India, in Mumbai, but there is still a gap, there's an opportunity. So he worked on that. His team worked on that. Milange did that, and they have done it beautifully. So when we started way back, it's almost 15 years. So this year in 2027, we'll be completing, it will be our 15th year. So we started with one city, Nagpur, and for the next 3 years, we built Nagpur. We understood what the agents in the tier 2, tier 3 markets actually needed, what the exhibitors were looking for. Who are they looking for? What type of audience? What type of handholding is required? So we went in, that did all that was required to educate these people, make them understand that, okay, because I used to get this a lot. Between me and Rishi, my younger brother, we have attended, between the two of us, probably since 95 that I entered the business, the two of us have attended more than 400 plus travel trade shows across the globe. So you can understand the type of experience, the amount of experience that we bring in terms of, it's not that, and Anshu mentioned it correctly, even Manish mentioned it, that when you are attending these shows over there, you know what and who you want to meet. You already are promoting 10 destinations. Now you have an audience that you are catering to as a buyer, and you want to reach out to more products, more services, something which is unique or different that you want to offer to your clients. This is where the events, specific events like ILTM or the luxury events are focusing on luxury products. But similarly, there are other events. There's one in South Africa which keeps on happening year on year. There are other places that are promoting such tabletop sort of formats, 2-day sort of formats. You don't need 3 days. If there are X number of exhibitors present, then you are in a position to pre-select your appointments, do about 20-30 odd meetings with them over a period of 1 or 2 days. And I think that is the format that DDP also started with certain products, which works well because it's a closed door meeting. You understand who you are catering to. But when GPS entered the market, if we start doing a closed door meeting or a one-on-one, in these markets, you have to be flexible. It's not about the clothing that the other person is wearing. That's what he is. You have to look at him because you are suited, booted, sitting at a table, and the other person feels shy to come and interact. You have to be, as an exhibitor, more receptive. Till date, there are owners from the exhibitor side who participate at GPS. Like Pradeep mentioned that he looks up to GPS because he saw something different. So he was present at those events himself. That makes a difference because what happens is the buyer feels, okay, I know the boss of this company, I can connect with him. And 95% of the people who participate or attend, the buyers that we host, are decision makers. It's not the front line, because unless the decision maker takes a call, the front line will not promote that product or service. It's ROI. Yes, it happens over a period of time. People are getting better returns. You may attend one show and next year you feel that, okay, I'm done. But you end up missing. You don't want to meet the same people year on year. You want to build on new connects. That's what GPS does. मैं हिंदी में हमेशा बोलता हूँ, मैं प्यासे को कुएं के पास लेके आता हूँ, मैं उसको पानी नहीं पिला सकता. तो ROI लाना नहीं लाना, that is between the buyer and the seller.
Yeah, I'm going to bring Manish here and ask him a point blank question, Manish. When it comes to attending exhibitions like this with multiple products versus a roadshow or a product presentation or a sales call at your convenience, in your city, in your office, what do you prefer?
I definitely prefer a one-to-one meeting in my office, in my city. Absolutely. And that's what usually happens whenever there's an OTM or whenever there's any exhibition that happens. Most of the exhibitors do come and meet us anyways, so I know whether an OTM or something happening in the city for the next 4-5 days, I'm going to be busy because there will be people coming in all the time. So that's why I take that little holiday also, so that I know I'll be meeting them. So yeah, I prefer meeting them in my office for sure, where I get their attention, undivided attention. I can give them that attention, learn more. Yeah, so
And
definitely prefer that.
and Anshu, do you have a similar opinion as well? When it comes to large scale exhibitions, are they helpful to you, or do you just send your team and your frontline office staff to gain knowledge and to collect business cards? Like, where do you, as a company, where do you stand on that?
So, as Harbin sir mentioned, we always send the right people in terms of the decision making. So either I am attending or someone else is attending, but whoever is attending is the right decision maker. That's the one thing. Another thing, I still think that the exhibition exists and they are very, very critical because there is nothing like meeting one on one, which creates that trust. Another thing is the efficiency. So, as Manish mentioned, that uh, there is a pre and post meetings. Which so when we know that there is Sate happening in Delhi, people will come pre Sate, post Sate. So there will be one-on-one meetings with whom you are working.
Yeah.
Now, if I need to explore and I need to meet new people, there is no way that I can meet 20, I can do 20 meetings in a day, other than an exhibition, right? The only thing what we are really discussing is that the way Indian outbound travel, for example, has evolved, whether these exhibition formats have evolved or not. So
Absolutely.
I definitely think that it still matters. The exhibition still matters a lot in terms of efficiency, trust, scale, timing, everything.
Perfect. So, Pradeep sir, to get you into this conversation, should every exhibition try to become larger in size, or should the organizers just focus on what their niche is and what their specialization is? What do you think?
I would feel it's contrary. Becoming larger is the easier part of it, maintaining the quality of the exhibitor as well as the visitor, the buyer. That is of paramount importance. Before I reply to you, I want to mention this to Manish. He's a very good friend of mine. When you say you prefer suppliers coming meeting at your office, I understand the comfort or the focused approach or discussion you can have with them. But remember, only those people will come to your office who you allow to come, as in you know them or they know you. Okay. But when you come to a trade fair or a road show with a multi-product or a single product road show, that is the place where you will, number one, see newer products, number one. Number two, you will meet new suppliers beyond the suppliers you've been working for with 2 decades. I'll give you a classic example. Okay. At Milange, we have a supplier from Madhya Pradesh. Okay. His company name is MP Tiger. The kind of work he does in Madhya Pradesh, you would not want to believe that one person, a company is so focused in Madhya Pradesh wildlife. Similar to our ideal Irshad from Nagpur. They are different kind of suppliers who usually wouldn't be able to reach your office come what may, because even if you may be the biggest for them in your office, they don't know you, or probably if they ask for an appointment, you wouldn't give one. Like what Anshu said, to have 20 quality meetings is your choice. When you walk a show, you can decide whom to spend your time with and what is a product you may be very interested in. When you walk a show, it is 100% your choice whom to meet, whom not to meet, and how much of time. Like Anshu said, I may spend 1 day or I may spend 3 days. It all depends on the quality of exhibitors he finds once he reaches there. Now, coming back to your original question.
Yeah.
So all in all, I would want to say one has to be different. One has to be focusing on the needs of not only the exhibitors but also of the buyers. What do they need? What do they require? Etc. Etc. Growing a show is very easy. Just sell your booths to whoever.
Mr. Tabu, I'm going to get Harman sir in here one and ask him a question about there is some sort of exhibition fatigue also in the market. Why both your exhibitions are unique and different. There is, like, from January to March, there is some sort of fatigue that sets in. Everybody's aware of that and all of that. Do so many exhibitions actually, and there are, or when I'm saying this, there are also a few new exhibitions that have been announced that will fit into the same calendar also moving forward. So, do so many exhibitions strengthen the industry, or are they diluting the quality of buyer that comes?
So there has to be a preamble to this.
Yeah.
Industry overall has grown. So if you look at the travel industry, it has grown exponentially in the last 2 decades. Rather, in the last 10 years, and pre-COVID, it was at its peak. Then all of a sudden, it collapsed. Travel industry is always the first one to get hit and the last one to recover. That's always the case. Even now, as we talk, we are in the same boat. We were the ones who got hit badly.
Yeah.
Last 2 years, for me, practically, if you look at it, the last year was worse than what happened in COVID. Because COVID, we didn't have anything to look at. The expenses have grown. Now you have brought your company to a level, any organization, whether it's a buyer or a seller, they brought the organization to a level where they cannot cut down the expenses now. Because that fear is there. If now something of that sort happens, people leave the industry, they will not come back to the industry. It's difficult to get people back. So, as Pradeep said, you have to have the right profile buyers. Yes, the fatigue sets in because there are too many trade shows.
No, I have a question for you over here. So, if not Delhi and Bombay, so if you are doing an event in Calcutta or in Chandigarh, for example, we know that the actual outbound agents there are like 100, 150, just giving you a number out there, right?
Yeah.
And if like 10 shows go there every year, and one after the other, like 1 month after the other, there's a different show going there every month. It's the same 150 people they are constantly meeting. Have you seen in smaller towns, have you seen more new travel agents coming in? Have you seen like people saying, oh, we've switched into this line of work. We are new in this industry because the industry is doing well. We wanted to become travel agents. Have you seen that switch coming in?
Yes, we have, because there are a lot of success stories that you start with, attend one event, you understand, you go and visit the show, attend the sessions, and you realize that, yes, this is the right pick for me. There have been second generation or third generation of a travel industry veteran who probably didn't want to attend or stay back in the travel business. And their parents contacted us, just try and see if you can convince him. We didn't have to convince them. The moment they attended the event, they realized, yes, there was an opportunity to scale up their business. They have to start thinking out of the box. The new generation does.
What does the new what is the next generation of travel events and exhibitions look like? Will it be smaller, smarter, more curated? According to you, where are we headed?
It will be more curated. So you might have not seen our calendar being rolled out this year. One of the main practical reasons is the current situation. We don't want to take money from people, the exhibitors, and don't give them an ROI. If they participate with us in an event in June, July, or August, I can't give them an ROI. So the target that I have to look at is next financial year now, because this year is already lost. So more content, more profiled, that is on the buyer front. So on an average at a GPS event over a 2-day period, how many buyers are you able to meet? You are able to meet, not if there's one person from the exhibitor side, they'll be able to meet a good, as Anshu said, or Manish said, you need your 15 minutes. So if we consider 15 minutes, in an 8-hour period, you cannot do more than 25 to 30 odd meetings. And that is exactly what an exhibitor looks at. Over a 2-day period, if he's getting 50 odd buyers whom he is able to explain his product, showcase the product, then there's a conversion possibility of at least about 15 to 20%. The one-on-one connect is very important.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to get Anshu back into this conversation. Anshu, it's not about the organizers, but now it's about the product. Does the supplier that you keep meeting again and again, do they bring enough innovation to have another conversation with you? Like, are their products or conversations at each event changing? Or is this the same thing that they go again and again and they literally shake hands with you and move on to the next? So, are the exhibitors doing it right?
I think there is a need of you can say the relationship retention as well as meeting new people. So when you are at an exhibition, definitely I would like to spend some time with my existing relationships.
Yeah.
For sure, means I might just say hi hello and I move on. But I would actually go back to the fatigue thing, which I also see at an exhibitor end. Because as Pradeep mentioned, there is no way you can cover India because our topography is as such that someone is based out of Mumbai, Delhi, Ahmedabad, Cochin,
Yeah.
right? How will any exhibitor or how will any even buyer will attend all these exhibitions? So there is definitely a fatigue. So because the frequency is increasing so much now, we also see that someone to whom I really wanted to meet attended an event in Mumbai, for example, as an exhibitor, and doesn't want to come to Delhi now, right? So for me, this is also becoming a challenge because the frequency of these exhibitions is so high that even the exhibition, I will not name any exhibition as good bad, but the exhibition which happens in Delhi doesn't have any pre-screening thing happening. It's 100% free flow event. How will I ensure, other than fixing my meeting with someone to whom I know that he is attending, and the only way that I know is that anyway probably he is dropping me an email again an offline channel.
Yeah.
So there is no sort of a tech involved in it, wherein I can see who is attending, wherein I can schedule my calendar better. There is no way that I can screen someone before I go to the event. So probably these are few challenges wherein we as outbound market need to evolve.
Yes, we need to agree. We need to evolve. So let me get Mr. Sabu in here. Mr. Sabu, how do you guarantee quality at an event? And as an organizer, how do you measure success of an event? Is it just footfall, or what are you looking at as a success matrix? And I have another follow-up question for you right after this.
Okay, so the quality, like I already mentioned, the variety of suppliers or the variety of exhibitors is also always on our radar. This is very, very rare because no other organizer is bothered on who's actually participating. They can put 20, 30, 50. You go to these big melas, you will find hundreds of suppliers from the same state standing next to each other, sticking to each other, and some things of mela, you can say. But here we are restricting the number of exhibitors from each region or a similar product. That is the first screening we do.
Yeah.
Second screening we do is obviously the most important one is the exhibit, the buyer that is coming in. And then we have obviously categories of buyers. So what we have done is, which is very unique, I'm sure none of you know, but this is very, very unique. We have a hosted buyer, then we have a normal buyer, and then we have a frontline buyer. So usually everybody is free flow, like Manish said, Anshul said, everybody can come anytime and walk anytime and etc. etc. No. At our show, if you are a frontliner, you have to apply. If you are registered and approved as a B2C frontliner, your entry is permitted only till 1 p.m. When you exit is not my control. Entry is under my control. So the leaner time, when the morning times my exhibitors are free, that time we allow in the frontliners or the managerial level, you can say. The owners and the senior management has to enter before 4 o'clock. Show is ending at 7. But our last entry closes at 4 o'clock. And from 4 to 7, again, then whatever time the guy wants to go back is up to him. So this monitoring, you can say we are trying to be arrogant, or we are trying to be autocratic, or we are trying to control how people have to work. But we are trying to regulate and disrupt the way things are done. Reason being, 7 o'clock party in the evening, we don't want 100 people coming at 6:30, attend the party and go back.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make sense. No ROI to me as an organizer. So we are going to most likely have the biggest travel trade party ever held this year in Milange on day 2 on 27th. This is the World Tourism Day, where we are targeting to have 3,000 people party with us under one roof, hosted by all of us, for us.
How But how do you measure the success of Milange? Is it getting 3,000 people into the door?
No, not at all, not at all. So we have introduced in 2025 and we have made it more robust in 2026 is scanning of each buyer meeting happening. So every exhibitor will scan the buyer. So the buyer data automatically gets transferred to the app which the seller takes home, the exhibitor takes home. How many scans he's doing, those exchange of cards are now gone thing. They will scan the buyer if they think the buyer is worth its while. And how many scans an exhibitor does is the parameter of the number of meetings they do. This is on the exhibitor side. For the buyer side, each scan that they are able to get, and not we have told on multiple calls to our exhibitors, just don't scan the buyer because the buyer is telling you to scan. If you find something meaningful, you scan. Otherwise, you don't scan. You say हाँ करता हूँ और छोड़ दो. मैंने उसको मारवाड़ी में बोला कि भाई तुम बोलो करता हूँ फिर छोड़ दो मत करो scan, because we don't want to give any credit to a buyer who's not worth its while. So end of the day, we have the number of scans every exhibitor is taking, exactly the number of scans every buyer is getting, and then those are also incentivized. If you don't know, last year prizes were given to, and prizes of the like a 7-night cruise in Europe, a 7-night jungle safari in Kenya. These were the prizes for the people who had the buyers who had the maximum number of verified scans done by my exhibitors.
Understood.
So that is the way we actually measure, and then we ask each of the exhibitor, आपको कितने scan मिले? So somebody will say 100, somebody say 150, somebody say 350. So that gives us the clear picture on what is the level of interaction people are having.
I have another question for you. A lot of your events are on weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Do weekend events work? Because when you see large scale exhibitions on Saturdays, they're empty. So does that work or not work in the market?
Disruption. Now I will ask Manish, going to a show, Sate, Milange or OTM, going there on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, does that make sense? As a business person, see, you are an entrepreneur. Every minute in your office you spend makes value for you, right? So going to a show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, wasting 3 full days of the whole week kind of gets disrupted. And coming there on a Saturday and going back on a Sunday or maybe even Monday morning. What makes more sense to a Sindhi or a Marwadi like us? We believe, okay, people tell me family time, this time, that time, agreed, all on. But we are travel agents. We keep on traveling any which ways. So when we travel abroad also, we miss the weekend with the family, right? But here, if I may give you value of a time which is not going to be as important for you in the office, which you can spend more time here, then I think it's worth its while doing it on a weekend.
Manish, what is the measure of success for you for an exhibition? Like how many successful business meetings do you want to say going for this event was a success?
So somehow I can't quantify it, because sometimes meetings, a success is not, okay, you go there, he gives you a good deal, you make a booking. It's just about meeting them. It's like how, there's so many things you're working on. You're working on interpersonal relationships. You're working on learning some new, you're meeting some new exhibitors. You're seeing new people. So somehow, I can't quantify that in terms of numbers, but yes, I would definitely want to have gone to an exhibition, met new people for sure, seen new products for sure, met the right people for sure, so these are the things that I don't want to come back empty-handed without meeting any new person, that for sure, meeting new people.
When you're meeting new people, like do big booths and elaborate stand designs and all influence your perception of the product and the company?
No, not at all. I mean, a big booth it doesn't really matter as long as I want to deal with that particular brand. That's more important. Whether I'm selling that brand, whether my clients want that brand, that makes a difference to me. I mean, the size of the booth or the number of people inside really doesn't make any difference to me.
So I want to ask you
because
one more
even
question.
Nowadays,
Sorry, go ahead.
So nowadays what happens is before we go for any meetings or any exhibition, we get the list of exhibitors over there, and then it also has all the details, the website, So I actually spend a lot of time studying each one of them, seeing who I want to meet, especially the new ones. So there are some people that I set aside. I want to meet these new guys. Then there are a set of people who I know already, but I want to meet them again. I want
Yeah.
to build my relation. And there are a few very close friends who I don't want to miss for any reason, which again, I try to fix their meetings. So that's how I usually, fix my meetings in an exhibition that I go for.
Okay. So having one more question I have for you. Have exhibitions become predictable in terms of like venue format, how to get to a venue? Does that consistency of like even entering a hall and knowing where this booth will be, or where somebody that's been around for a while, where there like an Air India booth would be, for example, does that consistency make doing business easier, or is it time for them to completely change and get in a fresh approach to get your attention?
I mean, see, innovation naturally is always great. Okay, it's always good to give new stuff, but sometimes you want to also be in a place that you've been before. Sometimes you want to
Yeah.
feel a little comfortable there also. So yeah, in terms of whether they should change the model or no, I feel it is changing anyways. The way the exhibitions were done long back and now it's a whole new world. I mean, every time I go to a new exhibition nowadays, there's no paper at all. There's no signing, there's no scanning, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a great boon. But then again, it depends. Maybe, they know the exhibitors. I mean, they know the sellers are there for serious business. So you don't really have to scan everybody, or you don't have to make notes who's coming, who's going. So I feel, and now the apps that the exhibitors give are amazing. Like
Yes.
the recent one is crazy. I mean, I was playing with that ILTM app like a kid. I
Yeah.
mean, you can go to anybody, you're recording the conversation that we're talking, you can pin down meetings and then send all the meetings to your email for you to go through at night. I mean, it's crazy. So things are anyway changing, and I'm happy to see such changes for sure.
Amazing. Mr. Sabu, I want to ask you a question here. When an exhibitor renews with you, or is coming back and signing for an exhibition with you, is it because they've genuinely made money, or is it because they simply cannot afford not to be seen there or not to be present?
Not to be seen can be a fashion once or twice, but if they have to register every year, and then obviously they're also kind of not only paying the money or also the effort of being present for 2 days, standing there, attention, blah blah blah, whatever. I would want to believe a repeat customer is always a happy customer. I mean, this goes with any business, any business, irrespective travel or anything. And if you have a repeat customer, it's not a fad that we are saying, oh, you are participating or not participating. I walk the bigger shows now where I used to exhibit for 25 years, and people ask me, you're not participating? Oh, no, we've done enough of it. We don't want to do more. And then most people don't even ask me now who identify me as Milange. But yes, I walk the shows, the bigger ones where I used to be exhibitor. Now I walk it as a buyer, or in some case like a free flow, anybody can go in and things like this. So yeah, so I would want to believe that they are happy with the result that they would have got over the year, number
Yeah.
one. And also, I tell you a few small things that we do for our exhibitors, because they feel this makes them feel very, very special. So when you come to a booth which is fully done up like a road show that you give to your foreign suppliers, so it's a fully done up booth. Then
Yeah.
beyond that, they also give you the fish bowl. They give you a extension cord.
Yeah.
So these are smaller things. Food, like most of you know, we provide food to all our visitors, exhibitors,
So
buyers.
your new format is the plug and play format. So they come,
Yeah.
they'll put their laptops in, and they're ready to go. They don't have to.
Ready
No
to
other
go.
problem is
Yes.
their headache. Like
App is
nothing is
ready.
their headache.
App is ready.
Yeah.
Scan. They can give their data on digital. Collect the data digital. Lot of things that we have done for them as organizer. They feel very special about it.
Yeah.
Meaning right now also very few people prepare templates for their exhibitors. All my exhibitors have got their templates which we design for them. We give it to them. So a lot of small and big things. also that our exhibitor feels very special about it. And then without ROI तो देखो कोई नहीं आने वाला, ये बात तो पक्का है. उसको वैल्यू दिखेगा, व्यापारी आदमी तो दूसरी बार आएगा, 2 बार आएगा तो तीसरी बार नहीं आएगा.
So I'm going to bring Anshu in here and ask him a question, saying, do exhibitions in India offer more than a networking opportunity for you? All the training sessions, all the panel discussions that they offer, does that influence your decision to go in? Because everybody has this lineup of star seekers coming in. Does that impact you in any way?
Being honest, no. Usually it should be because, for example, we remain very, very tech focused. So we still get to see more tech focused panel discussions which are happening on the shows. Yeah. What I see that more than networking, these a lot of times these exhibitions become a reunion thing, and that also interrupts your meeting. So people really need to understand whether you're coming for a meeting or a reunion. So I'm going there for a meeting, but someone else already standing doing their reunion sort of a friendship meeting. But the other ancillary things, as of now, I don't see within Indian exhibition. I do not see worthy enough panel discussions happening. A lot of times, even if you try and enter these panel discussions, the rooms are really full, and I'm sure people must be finding them interesting. But not influencing my decision right now with the quality of discussions happening.
Perfect. Thank you. Harman sir, to get you in, you have focused heavily on upskilling, right? Training, teaching the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 city travel agents some new skills every time you take GPS to them. What can they expect from you in the future? So what after this?
So DPDP is something that we launched this year. That is something one needs to be aware of. So all the changes in terms of tech is the future. AI is the future. You can't say कि no, you can't keep your eyes closed and say कि ये आया है चला जाएगा. So you have to start adapting. You have to start evolving. People have been evolving. People have been changing. The older generation says, "ठीक है, we'll do it the way it has been," but they have to start adapting. So you have to change with the flow. How things are adapting, how things are evolving. You have to keep the exhibitor and the buyer connected so that they have a larger return. You'll see we have peaked with 16 cities of GPS events in 2025-26 financial year. 26-27 you will not see the same format. We have done what we wanted to. We have connected with more than 100,000 odd travel professionals across India by reaching out to 32 plus cities across 16 different states. So we have literally covered the whole of India. So you need to see what the buyers in these markets are looking for. You have to see to it, because as I've always said, now you will see the events happening in only about 5 or 6 major cities, which was the focus in the beginning. So we are back to where we started, but we don't want to be, if you go to a larger event at an exhibition, you are actually collecting hundreds and thousands of cards, which are not worthwhile. You are in 2010 still, we are in 2026. The way to connect is digital, and that's the way forward.
That's my last and follow-up question for you. I know we are running short of time. I'm sorry about that. What role will AI play in this exhibition space moving forward?
It will make people connected for a much longer period of time rather than over a shorter period. They will be able to, before AI sets in, before people start adopting it, you have to educate people. I may not be able to educate, but my next generation, my son is now in, so he's working on that. Mehran would be completely digitizing it. His way of thinking is completely different than the way I used to think when me and Rishi launched this format. So the way he thinks would be completely different. It will be in time with what the current generation thinks. So if we have to have a new breed of travel industry people coming in, setting in, taking over the reins, that is where it has to change, so that the travel events don't get obsolete. Because yes, webinars happen, Zoom link happen, meetings happen, but A one-on-one face-to-face connect is always a must. The confidence gets built when you meet people.
Thank you. Manish, one last question for you. What would convince you to return to exhibitions currently that you skip? What should an organizer do to get you in?
No, I think I just need more time. I wish there would be 28 hours in a day, number one, and but no, I'd love to go to most of them after listening to what they were saying, and I'm going to check Harman's app as well and Milange's stuff. I'd love to go there. Trust me. I mean, if I get a chance, I would. If they ever call me, I would go there for sure.
But like Mr. Sabu said, Milange is coming to you in
Yeah,
next
exactly.
year. Yes.
So I will be there for sure. So there's nothing like I don't go, or it's just, as I said, it's just the time, and you're traveling so much, and there's so many things happening all the time. It's just about matter of time. So yeah, there's nothing. I mean, I'd love to definitely go for their, like see, so many things are happening now. For example, hotels. Hotels that have their own, like Marriott Exchange has their own program. They call 40 of their things. Accor has it. Four Seasons has it. So we're going for every hotels. Then we destinations. Again, destinations have their own things. They're calling us. So like this weekend, again, a destination has called us to Delhi. Spend the whole day with them. Then spend, with their 10 top suppliers, and then go to the High Commissioner's house. So all that is happening all the time. So it's just about time. But I'd love to be a part of their exhibitions as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Anshu, I have a question for you. In terms of exhibitor follow-up, what does the follow-up from after an exhibition look like for you in terms of what should an exhibitor do? If they flood your emails, if you meet 40 people, all 40 start sending you emails, it's not going to add value either way. So what should a supplier follow-up to somebody like you look like?
Look, I think this is one of the biggest missing link, Devika. Means from an evolution perspective, pre-meeting screening, then how we get better in terms of meeting right people during the show, and then the post-meeting follow-ups are usually lost. Being honest, there is most of the suppliers are in a process of collecting visiting cards. Probably no CRM sort of a tech which is introduced at a supplier end as well. And then obviously, because there is no technology, there is, by the end of any show, especially the bigger ones where you have the masses, you might be one of the 1,000 cards for the supplier. So even if you had a productive conversation, that there should be a follow-up, the follow-ups are not happening. So there is a dire need of technology which enables suppliers as well to keep a follow-up with the right people. And that's where probably and that's where I clearly see a requirement from an AI perspective, wherein the pre-event screening is super important. So to whom I am meeting and to whom supplier meeting becomes important. But whatever in terms of conversation I did during my meeting, and if we enable these guys through AI, that sort of a data is already sorted for them. Only they know that they collected 1,000 cards, but these are the 20 people, those are potential. So post meeting tech adoption at supplier end, or probably enabling by organizer to them, will definitely help.
Amazing. Mr. Sabu, I have 2 questions for you, closing questions. Then we'll come to closing remarks. First, should India have fewer travel exhibitions, or do you think there's still space for more?
So I'm not saying we have too many. With the kind of population that we have, the kind of products we have, there is space for more exhibitions to happen. A clear reason why these days every city association is doing they feel everything is so easy. So every city association is doing their own exhibitions, be it a Coimbatore or a Madurai to Ahmedabad or to wherever. They are all hosting their Surat is doing exhibition next month. So each city is having their own exhibition, and the kind of population and the kind of products. Remember, we all are focused on outbound, but please understand, domestic India is such a big market. for the product suppliers and for the buyers. It is a very, very big market also. So the number of products, the number of travelers, don't believe we are only like these many people traveling outbound. There are crores and crores doing domestic as well. So there is reasonable space. Only the best organized and focused approach shows will remain. Few shows will fade out. Few may not be able to enter the new arena, especially international players who are not having the right nerve of the Indian trade. So probably new ones will find it little more difficult to enter because of established players, and few ones will fade out because of maybe not organizing it as well.
And my final question to you is, what should a buyer vetting program look like? What are exhibition companies missing when everybody's at the show? Like, how should they vet the buyer?
So I can very simply say, and very simply boast of, that we are the most stringent buyer screening program that we operate. So people would operate by name or company name or a GSTN or a website, and so many times careless people just don't put any of these, right? So we go to the extent of actually screening the social media of the person. Meaning, if Devika has to register as a travel agent, your social media will say you are more of a media person or a representation company than rather being a travel agent. So the social media is also screened, and from where you come. And finally, at some stage, till our team is not convinced, they will go to the extent of sending a mail, send your contacts, the people you know, blah, 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 the profile of the, beyond a point, the profile is not possible on the form. So we get the profile, we sometimes even get office photos. We don't want people just kind of working from home and just showing off that, oh, I do this, I do that, or whatever. So we are one of, I'll tell you the reason, because every buyer that is walking in, there is a cost to us. So we don't want crap, because we serve them food, we serve them alcohol on both the days, every buyer. So there is an X cost of every buyer who's walking in. Even if it is a local buyer, hosted buyer, obviously the cost is higher because we obviously host their hotels, etc., everything. But for a local Mumbaikar also, there is a cost to me. So I don't want anybody to walk in my show just like that. If one has to come on both the days, I'm spending close to 4,000-5,000 rupees per person entry.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll just move to the closing remarks. We would love to get closing remarks from you, but I would also want you to complete the sentence saying travel exhibitions in India will remain relevant only if, and get your feedback on that. Harman sir, can we start with you?
So travel exhibitions will always remain relevant, whether it's webinar, Zoom links, or whatever happens, they will stay relevant because one-on-one connect face-to-face is a must. And unless it is there, because when you meet someone at an event, you are able to get that confidence. I met them at a particular event. So if Manish meets someone at ILTM, he'll have more confidence of working with that supplier.
Manish, let's get you in. Travel exhibitions in India will remain relevant only if.
I think they'll be relevant only if they get more focused. I mean, they need to identify what kind of exhibition they want to do, who are their audience, who do they want to invite. So I think that should be that there should be that agenda, their agenda. Like suppose now you want to have a luxury thing, a luxury exhibition. You need to have the screening done properly. You need to know, who are you calling, and so I think they need to be a little more focused so that we as buyers also can decide whether to go or not to go, or who do we send. So that I think that would be very helpful if they can get a little more focused so that the audience is also. We know the audience and the buyers and sellers could match better.
Perfect.
And be more value for time for both of them.
Thank you. Mr. Sabu.
So the travel exhibitions are here to stay and they're here to grow. Only thing that the organizers have to be very similar to what Manish says, has to be very focused in pinpointing on exactly what they want to deliver, not only to their exhibitors, but also to their buyers. And if like what you have a satisfied customer on both the ends, these are only here to stay and grow. And like again, I'm repeating, but 100%, you need to be really focused on what you want to do and not try to do everything and anything.
Perfect. Anshu, final words from you, closing off the session. What travel exhibitions in India will remain relevant only if?
only if they adopt better technology for more efficiency and definitely smart matchmaking between buyer and suppliers.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I think this has been an excellent, very meaningful conversation. We've learned a lot from everything that you've all added to this conversation. We really appreciate the time you've taken for the last hour and a half to be with us.
1 minute, Devika, 1 minute. Before you
Yes,
end
sir.
or conclude, I'm
Yes.
personally inviting Manish and Anshu to the show. Harman, I cannot because this doesn't have a show. Format doesn't permit.
Conflict of interest plus.
Conflict, no.
But sir,
Conflict of
mentor
interest
करके
is
बुला
a small
सकते
thing.
हो.
You are a very big wholesaler, sir. You are a very, very big wholesaler in Jackson. So you have to be a retailer to come as a wholesaler. Though you are welcome as an exhibitor if you want so. But yeah, I will get in touch with Anshu and Manish. And maybe I make Manish feel something in India is worth its while to visit Shore also.
Yes.
You've not been to
आपके
many
लिए
shows
पता
lately.
होगा सर.
Done, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for invite, Pradeep. Look forward. Whenever you are in Delhi, any of you, please come down. We'll
Sure,
be happy
sure.
to meet.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Sure.
Connecting with all of
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Devika.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.